Oh, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Stand Up Guys podcast. I'm your host, Incomparable Zach Jones, and I'm joined as always by the Greg Brady to my Bobby Brady, Lester Jones. You know, it's a podcast. You can't just, do a fucking
I
move.
can see the video, so I'm like, I'm saying cheers to all the people in listen only land.
You can make a movement, but there's going to be people that are always only listening. So, you know.
I only watch YouTube.
We definitely have right at the moment more listeners to the audio feed.
Okay. Cheers to the audio feeders. Bottom feeders.
And of course, we got the ninth wonder, Chocolate Thunder, doing the deed and spreading that seed. The rootin' tootin', skeet shootin', filling up pies with the might of 50 guys. They ain't telling no lies. The phenomenal A.J. Singh.
I'm gonna own it. Yep, that's me.
Cheers again.
All right, guys, what's going on this week? Anything good?
Started a new show, The Dark Place, or Dark Place, I guess is what it's called.
Dark Place.
Yeah, it's like
It's a new thing on Pornhub.
no, it's like a mockumentary, about a guy who made a TV show that was supposed to be like a horror show, and it's got a couple of people from the IT crowd in it.
Does that have Moss?
Has Moss in it.
Oh, I love Moss.
And it also has the new boss, the new CEO.
I might want to talk into the microphone.
Yeah.
I was kind of talking into Ajay.
Is this show is it like some guy's name, Dark Place, like the full title? Because I think I've heard of it.
It just says Dark Place.
Okay.
It's on YouTube.
Oh.
Do you really want to watch Richard Burton's Dark Place?
No, I want to say there was a show back in the day, maybe like an Adult Swim show or something, and it had kind of a cult following, and I think it was called fictional guy characters Dark Place. You know,
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's what this is. It was British, so I don't know if it was on Adult Swim or not. It feels like one of those kinds of shows, though. Very absurd.
I want to say maybe I saw a little bit of one a long time ago. This is an older show, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. I don't So what's the premise exactly?
It's just they go back and so this guy breaks down his series of horror shows, and he just explains we were going for this, and they actually go into the show and you watch the episodes, and it's just his friend who can't act for anything, who's played by Moss, and other people in the show who are all just trying their best to do this horror show, and it's just absolutely terrible.
What's that guy's name? Richard Ayoade, something like that. He was hilarious in IT Crowd, though.
Yeah, I gotta know his name too. I should know it. He's funny.
I've never seen the IT Crowd, but I think I know the guy you're talking about because I think I saw a movie once that had him in. I recognize that name.
Yeah, he does. He's been in. I think he was in. What was that movie? The End of the World with a bunch of comics.
Oh, okay. With Simon Pegg in them.
Yeah, I think he was in that. But yeah, black guy, big hair, skinny, nerdy.
Yeah, I saw a really bad movie once. Who did it have in it? It was The Watch or Neighborhood Watch or something.
Oh, I saw that movie.
And it was about aliens or something.
Was this a Kevin James movie or something?
I think maybe Ben Stiller.
It might have been. Yeah, Ben Stiller. Yeah.
It was not good. That's all I remember. Yeah. But it had that guy in it.
Yeah. Poor guy. He had to pick that movie out of all the movies he could have done.
To try to break into American TV.
Any other stories or things you guys are watching?
Well, I got this sweet shirt.
All right, I noticed it right away.
I did see that shirt. This motherfucker, about a week ago,
I started getting a bunch of Amazon deliveries. Just weird shit.
Well, not only that, but one day he's like, do you ever think about getting style? And I'm like, I don't like the implication of your fucking question.
You're wearing a shirt that said, "Ain't got time for no tickle butt."
Exactly. I make a statement with my clothing.
That's for the podcasters who can't see it. You can't see his style? Okay, here it is. Black shorts, black shirt says ain't got no time for tickle butt, and some dude getting his butt tickled with a feather.
I mean, he's not wrong about the black shorts and black shirt, though. I totally am on board with that.
But also, he's got nothing but time for tickle butt.
But see, I actually had to go in for work today, so all day I had to look stylish and proper, in my collared shirt, my tan pants.
What the fuck? Yeah, and your Batman hoodie
and my
that you never
Batman.
took off all day.
Actually, it was too warm today. I did take it off.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, Amazon's got this sweet thing where you can put in your height, weight, and take a few pictures, and they'll send you custom shirts.
Oh, this is one of those shirts.
Yeah.
So does it actually fit really good?
It fits good. I got it long, so it tucks in. It never comes untucked. I got the V collar.
Is it tight in the arms? It looks a little tight in the arms.
No, it's pretty good. But at rest, it rests pretty good. It might shrink though. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it feels pretty good. It was an interesting experiment. I kind of like it.
You've been watching anything?
Well, I just found out today that there's a second season of Love on the Spectrum that just came out.
Oh.
So that's what I got coming up.
I think I've said on the show, I don't like reality television, but I did watch the first season of that with you, and it is an interesting show.
Yeah, it's got a charm.
I definitely enjoy it, more so than other reality TVs that I've seen way in the past. But yeah, I actually, besides that show, I haven't watched reality television forever. I remember back in the 2000s, I watched it, and I think I gave up right around the time I was watching Flavor of Love on VH1, and I'm I gotta be better than this.
Last time I watched it was because of Flavor of Love.
I mean, that's exactly what they're trying to hook you with. Is just some crazy
ridiculous
people, and that you couldn't feel worse about yourself at the end because this guy just seems like a piece of shit in every human way. I mean, maybe nice enough, but just
stupid,
just completely stupid, and and then he's got all this money and all these hot chicks going after him. You're just sitting there what happened? The pieces don't fit together, and it just hurts on the inside.
That was a weird couple. Him and Bridget, what's her name? Nielsen. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Bridget.
God, how long did their relationship last? I wonder.
I don't know.
That was a disgusting relationship.
She was this big, giant woman, and he was this little, tiny man.
Tiny guy. Crackhead looking guy.
Yeah.
Did you guys see any pictures when she was a supermodel or whatever?
Yeah, she used to look better, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking if she was gorgeous at one point, she didn't age real well.
She was in Red Sonja, right? She was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember that joke at the roast where they said Sylvester Stallone left his career and her pussy was so big. Her vagina was so big he lost his career in there.
I wouldn't say that. I would say Stallone came out all right.
He came back.
Yeah.
He's doing fine, yeah.
Didn't he play the voice of the shark in
King
right,
Shark,
he did
yeah.
that.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
been having roles. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's had a consistent career.
Yeah.
There was a
forever.
gap in there for a while, wasn't there? After Rocky and Rambo and all that stuff.
Because he did Judge Dredd and stuff. He did.
He maybe did some
He
movies.
had a couple in the 90s.
He maybe had some movies that were stinkers, but I think he
Yeah.
consistently acted.
Okay.
Or Stop or My Mom Will Shoot and shit like that.
Yeah.
I was listening to an interview, and I think it was him because he was talking about the there was kind of a competition in Hollywood between him and Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
And something a script like that would come out, and then the only thing they had to do to drag him in would be oh, it sounds like Schwarzenegger's going to take this one, and then then, you had to go get it.
That's why he did those country singer, karate fighting, whatever movies. What was that? Where he's a country singer with Dolly Parton?
Oh, jeez, I don't think I ever.
Oh, yeah, it's Rhinestone or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Whew. That's rough.
Now that I think about it, because we both listened to How Did This Get Made. Like, I think both that and Stopper My Mom Will Shoot and maybe Judge Dredd were on there. Like, he's got a lot of movies that are on there.
And Cobra.
Cobra, yeah.
I remember being like in middle school and being really excited for Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I watched that movie in theaters, man. I can't believe I did. I can't believe they let me. Because that movie was like rated R big time, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember a lot. I remember like the hillbillies and like one guy had like a knob on his head where you could turn up his rage or whatever.
What to you guys was like your most disappointing theater experience ever? Mine is definitely Batman and Robin. I remember being so fucking excited to see that, and then I get in the theater and like I was probably only like, I don't know, 13 or whatever when that came out. I just remember watching it and being like, what the fuck is going on?
I would have been very disappointed in that movie, except beforehand, like we were talking, and I'd made some comment that Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze, and you're like, you call bullshit on me, and so we bet like $1, and then like when he came up, like I won the bet, so I was pretty happy about that.
Here's the thing, though, that wasn't actually what happened. This is a really random. Like we took a trip to like this kind of biggest city towards a small city we live in Montana, a city called Kalispell, Montana, and we had like gone to some maybe like a gun show or something with our parents that
sounds
day.
familiar, actually.
And I found $1 on the ground, you know, and it was like, woohoo, I got $1. And then he was telling me this story.
I don't remember that part.
He was telling me this story that he had seen, like, I don't know if it was a trailer or just like back then, let me be like an Entertainment Tonight thing that said that Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze. And I was like, no, he's not. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And you were like, I'll bet you that $1. And I'm like, fine, I'll bet you this $1. And then like that same day, our parents took us to see the movie Liar, Liar, which is a great movie, but maybe thinking back, I was like, should they have showed us that when we were kids? But anyway, they played a trailer to Batman and Robin during that, and I was like, fuck. I had to hand over my $1. I was like, God damn it. Really was a stupid bet on my part, though. I'm just like, no, you're just like making this random fact up about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Although there are people in our family who make up random shit. So.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I mean, I could see Arnold playing pretty much any character. They'll stuff him into any role. He's been cloned how many times in movies? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I have some grievances this week. First is with something I played. So, like, you know, I always look through, like, the PlayStation sales. Like, I don't have a ton of time for gaming lately, but, like, I always like to just kind of go through those and see if anything interesting is on sale. And so they had one of those Need for Speed games on sale for, like, $5. And I was like, you know what? I haven't played a racing game in forever. Let's go ahead and do it. So I spent $5 and got it. But it's like an EA game. And, like, I never play games online. I just always do the single player because that's what I like to do. But, like, this game wouldn't even let me play it because it has to log you on to EA servers. And so, like, apparently, like, years and years ago, I must have made an EA account. But it was, like, so fucking long ago that I had used my mom's email. And so it sent, like, the reset password thing to her email. Uh-huh. So I actually had to, like, contact my mom, have her change the password, give the new password to me so I could log in and change it to my new email. And then it finally let me on. I haven't played like a ton of this game yet, but it doesn't seem very good.
It wasn't worth it.
And one of the things that drives me nuts about it is that, like, the cutscenes, they're like in live action. So, like, it's from your first person perspective, and you're basically just like constantly have to do these cutscenes where you're like interacting with like these live action actors, but they're all like douchey, like hipstery type characters, like introducing you to their, you know, underground racing ring and, you know, shit. And it's just like, it's so terrible. I'm like, this is fucking awful. Just let me race already. And then, like, I'm guessing this won't keep happening, but like, you know how sometimes games will like pause the action to come up with like a tutorial thing, and it'll say like, yeah, you got to press this to do this, whatever, you know. this game was doing that, but it was doing it during a race. And it would come up on screen like that, but it wouldn't actually pause the race. So, like, if you actually stopped to read this, you would be losing the race. I'm like, they really didn't think of this? This is, like, the fucking stupidest thing ever.
Zero, play testing.
Yeah, I was like, this was a terrible idea. So, I mean, I'll still play it a little more and see if I can get my $5 worth, but I haven't been impressed so far.
I need to get the driver ROM for PS1 on my Raspberry Pi, man. Go back and play some Driver.
Here's the thing. I love Driver and Driver 2 back in the PS1 days, but I bet you would feel almost unplayable these days.
I don't think so. I think it's going to look clunky.
Oh, it's going to look super clunky.
However, the mechanics are there, man. If the mechanics are there, it'll stay fun forever.
You know, they have all these games that they're remastering these days.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they would do that for those Driver games.
Probably wouldn't take very much because you just need some building packs and or car skins. It's not
the first Stuntman game was really fun too. Really hard, but really fun.
Yeah, it was kind of frustrating sometimes, but not bad.
It was frustrating, but it was one of those trial and error games that you feel like so satisfying. It feels so satisfying when you finally beat a level because it's so difficult. But but really I don't know if you guys have ever played the Jet Moto games, especially Jet Moto 2. That's like one of the best racing games ever, and apparently people just don't have the love for it that I do. I would love it if they remade those games.
I don't know, man. When it comes to racing, I'm just a Mario Kart guy.
That's another ROM I should look up.
Yeah, do they have 64 on there?
You can do 64.
Oh, that'd be cool.
The only kart racer I ever really played was Crash Team Racing, which is definitely one of my favorite racing games. I love that game, and I did get they did remake that one. Luckily, I have that. So yeah, a little bit of a grievance with that Need for Speed game. Now, I also, so I wanted to watch something this week, but you know how sometimes you search for new stuff and you're just like, man, nothing's appealing to me.
Yeah, you're on page 160 of Pornhub.
Exactly. So I was like, sometimes you just want to watch something you know is going to be great. Sometimes you just want a dead ringer. And what do when you think of a dead ringer, what's the first thing you guys think of? It's, of course, the hit CBS show Becker starring Ted Danson, right?
Of course.
Where are my Beckerheads at? I love that show. So
I call them dickheads.
I'm like, so I'm like, where this has got to be streaming somewhere.
Please shame him in the comments. Let him know.
No, please let me know that you're a fellow Beckerhead.
I was thinking about that show earlier today. Isn't the secretary in that show also in Saw? Isn't she
She is, yeah.
Assistant to the Saw guy?
You were thinking about that today?
I was watching the Saw stuff
what
today.
The fuck?
Yeah. She is in that, yeah. But here's the thing. So I go to that justwatch.com where you can type in stuff and see where it's streaming. And this is offensive. This is my big grievance. Not only is Becker a hit show that lasted 5 seasons, not streaming on any of the proper platforms. There was one place, something called Pluto TV, where apparently you can stream just the first 2 seasons, but it's one of those things where it's going to show you a bunch of commercials.
And it's not really a channel anyway.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. So, I end up having to watch the episodes on YouTube, crappy YouTube uploads. I mean, really the only place you can get it proper, I won't even say proper quality because
you have to go to the dollar bin at Walmart just to find these.
No, you can get the DVDs. Well, yeah, all you can do is get Becker on DVD. And as we found out last week, I'm guessing if Becker the complete series was in the checkout line at Fred Meyer, it cost $15,000 because think of how many DVDs that is.
They probably just And, like, if they made a bunch, they probably just dug a hole in the desert, buried them, and, like, piled it over like those E.T. games back in the day.
But I mean, it's 2021. You should not have to watch Becker on DVD. And also, how is there have there not been a Blu-ray, remastering of Becker? I mean, this is just a travesty of justice.
Out of all the petabytes of information in the cloud, nobody wanted to like store a little bit of for Becker.
It's so fucked up. And let me tell you something. I've watched about 10 episodes or so of the first season. Holds up. It's a great show. What the fuck is wrong with you that you're not a Becker
It's
head?
just like 20 minutes of him calling a blind guy names. Hey, blinky blackhead. Okay,
And you don't
he's blind and black, yeah.
Man, I tell you, this motherfucker has a hot take on
Calling
everything.
him Ray Charles and shit.
John Becker invented the hot take before hot takes existed.
It's a show that just tries to be too clever and is annoying.
No, it's a show that is that clever.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
It's a clever show for stupid people.
Hashtag restore Becker. Hashtag save Becker. Hashtag Beckerheads unite. We need Becker. We need him. You know what? If I had like Jeff
Beckerheads Unite sounds like a porno.
You know what? If I had like Jeff Bezos money, I would
Have sex with Ted Danson.
well, I mean anybody would do that. But I would pay the money, whatever it took to bring back Becker.
Oh, speaking
I think all those actors are still alive, as at least Ted Danson is.
Speaking of sex for money, apparently, like some Arab dude offered Kim Kardashian $1 million
That's not surprising at all.
to get up in there.
From what I understand, like in the Middle East, like that happens all the time. Celebrities from here go there and like hook up with those people for like millions of dollars all the time.
For M? Damn.
Well, they had that bullshit Met Gala thing, where celebrities dress up all stupid.
Oh, right.
And she basically wore like a head to toe like hijab almost, like covered in black, like even her face.
Oh.
And maybe that turned him on.
He's like, it's time to get out my counting money.
She does kind of look Middle Eastern. Like her eyes could be like.
Well, she is kind of because she's Armenian, which is
Okay.
Iranian basically.
I didn't know that.
Or is it Persian? Maybe I'm
they're all the
mixing
same.
up things.
Persian and Iranian are the same thing.
Persian and Armenian.
And Iranian.
Oh, Iranian. I think she's Armenian, so maybe that is different.
I think Armenian counts as like Middle Eastern.
I think it's definitely.
I'm not going to weigh in. I'm ignorant.
You should see how Becker handles his foreign neighbor that plays music. Foreign music. It's hilarious. Watch Becker, everybody.
Watch early 2000s ignorance.
What race was the person? I'll try to figure it out.
Actually, judging by it never says it. He just yells at him and says, "Hey, foreign guy." but it actually might be an Indian guy. Like it's definitely either Indian or Middle Eastern music. I'm not sure which. Need AJ to watch and tell me.
Terrible.
It's so good, Becker.
Makes it less and less appealing.
I haven't had racism in a long time.
You know what? It is.
I have to go on BitTorrent to get this Becker.
It is weird to watch like a show from the late 90s, early 2000s. It does make you feel old because you see like everybody's got like fucking huge computer monitors and they got like the big phones and like touch-tone phones with cords and shit, and you're just like, man, it does look like
I was alive.
Yeah, I was alive then.
It just shows you what capabilities we had back then. Like you feel like, man, people back then couldn't do anything. They were powerless. I don't know. Like now you can track people on their phones. You can see who committed a murder, like where they went and all kinds of stuff.
That's what my iPhone hobby.
And what?
I'm glad I'm not the only one tracking murderers.
No, I'm just saying, like That it just shows how connected the world is now. Like now you can get people in like so many different ways. There's like the steel curtain they call it, like where the cameras are watching everybody in the UK.
I don't know. There's cameras everywhere anyway.
Yeah, but
Like, you can be in the woods and some motherfucker will be like, "Oh, he's on my trail cam." You're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Now, question for you guys. You guys have already agreed that if we make it to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to do a show where we do a commentary track for every episode of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. Now, would you guys be willing, if we hit 100 subscribers?
How old are we going to be at 1,000 episodes?
Not 1,000 episodes, 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully.
Oh,
Okay.
Now, if we make it to 100 subscribers, baby steps, would you guys be willing to do a show where we review every episode of Becker?
No.
hard pass.
I'm going to have to keep working this angle. We'll get there, viewers. Now, I would like to nothing more than to just talk about Becker for this whole show, but we probably should get the show on the road since we're like 25 minutes in.
Hey, yeah, slow news week. Got to make up some time at the front end.
That's true. The news stories this week kind of suck, but we'll see if we can get some diamonds out of the crap heap. And to start off, we usually go around, share a topic conversation, whatever we have found. And as tradition dictates, AJ, we usually start with you, so let's see what we got this week.
All right. A teen in the UK was rushed to the hospital after he attempted to measure his penis by shoving a USB cable into it. The London boy revealed to doctors after his mother left the room that he inserted the cable to measure the length of his penis, according to a case study in the medical journal, Urology Case Reports. It's unknown why he didn't use a trusty ruler, but the more modern option was evidently not the best method. The cable, which was already knotted, wound up getting caught in his urethra. The teen attempted to extract it himself, but he began to experience blood in his urine, so his mother took him to the hospital where he made his confession. Emergency surgery was required to remove the cord, and the teen was discharged the following day. His recovery was described as uneventful, which is pretty much all one can hope for in a case like this. Foreign bodies inserted into the urethra can cause serious issues, ranging from urinary tract infections, painful erections, and bladder dysfunction, most of which typically comes down to sexual curiosity and sexual practice after intoxication. The experts wrote that some of the objects inserted include needles, pins, iron wires, and pistachio shells. Man, why pistachio shell? Or any of those, honestly.
Like, how is your penis opening big enough to stuff a... You must be packing if you can, stuff a pistachio in there.
Yeah.
Like, you've got some kind of issue. You're going to piss like a garden hose or something.
I got to say, though, I want to make an infomercial where it shows this guy shoving that cord up his pee hole and be like, there's got to be a better way to measure your penis.
I want to see that bag of pistachios that says, warning, do not shove your urethra.
How do you get them out? You got to go crush.
Yeah. Just got to start at the bottom and squish them out.
Crush and blow. Oh, yeah, it's like a toothpaste thing.
Yeah.
My question is what was the thought process between shoving a USB? First of all, how did the USB? What kind of USB was going up there? Like an actual USB-A?
I'm guessing you just cut the end off and use the cable. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't think he could get it in if he left the end on.
Yeah.
No way, right?
I wouldn't. I would hope not.
That'd be
but
insane.
if guys are stuffing pistachios in there, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, okay,
I'm
so
insecure about this.
What was his
pistachio.
idea, though? Was he like, oh, this cord is a foot long. I'm going to see if I can get it all the way in there, and then I'll know?
Well, you're not going to know what your penis size because it's going to go all the way to your bladder.
yeah, it's gonna keep going.
Ugh. I don't know how mentally you can put something in your pee hole. I mean, it seems like if you just put it in there a little bit, you'd be like, oh, that fucking hurts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this.
I'm out.
Yeah.
You think you put a little bit more thought process into something like that?
Also, you'd probably want some to lube it up so you can you're not doing a dry.
Yeah, those catheters, they lube up.
Yeah.
God, I wouldn't want to get one of those either.
Good times.
I just heard that if you do get a catheter, because it basically just takes it right out of the pee right out of your
Just
bladder.
drains.
Like, I guess some people, when they get the catheter removed, they'll actually piss themselves for a while because you got to like build that muscle back
has
up.
to cinch back up.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Diapers.
How quickly does that happen? Like after like months of being on a catheter, or what?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was literally today, I was listening to a podcast where the guy said his dad got it, and he said that happened to him for maybe like a month afterwards, but he didn't say like how long his dad actually had the catheter in, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. You got to do what you got to do, I guess.
Man, I just can't feature people stuffing this kind of shit in their pee hole. I mean, that seems insane, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The fact that we just broke it down, like you got to hit your bladder at some point. Like it just doesn't work out. Like the fact that this guy didn't think those 2 steps ahead and still shove something up his urethra, like that says a lot about this person. Like their thought process is very different from mine.
Doctors have to have some like hilarious stories that they don't really break out. Like, oh, should have seen this time on this guy had like a toy boat shoved up his anus or something.
I mean, I do really wonder about the stuff people shove up their ass, because that if people are shoving pistachio shells up their pee hole, you can only imagine what people are shoving up their ass.
Can only imagine.
I'm like getting their like dick stuck in too. I'm sure they're getting their dick stuck in stuff too.
Oh yeah.
It was 1,000,000 to 1 shot, dog. 1,000,000 to 1 shot.
I've heard of like people getting like glass bottles stuck in their anus, and basically like instead of breaking, they have to break the suction. So like they'll take like a special drill bit and drill a hole in there to the bottom of the bottle, and like it breaks the suction, and then they can pull it out. Now you know.
It's like that one bit from that Scrubs show I actually remember like being kind of funny. It was like there's one episode where like a guy gets a light bulb stuck up his ass, and like they very carefully like find a way to get it out, but then like their head boss or whatever basically takes all the credit for it.
No.
And then like at the end of the show, like he's in his office and he turns on his light and he's like
Oh yeah.
smell something. All right, should we head over to Manifesto round 1, see what we got?
All right. Happy little story to start out. This one's from Russia. So a dad found out like his best friend had molested his 8-year-old daughter. So he took him out in the woods, made him dig a grave, and then he stabbed him in the heart and buried him in the woods.
Okay.
I was like, these are the stories that warm my heart.
I mean, yeah, it's always a good story when you find out like a pedophile got what was coming to him. But I gotta say, like, if anyone ever was like trying to make me dig my own grave, I think I'd just be like, "No, you're gonna have to dig it. Just kill me now, and you're gonna have to do the work."
Yeah, I'd try to fight in that situation. Like, I wouldn't be a pedophile in the first place.
Right. But even if it was
I
like,
guess if people feel like they can talk their way out of it, maybe it's like if I go nice and slow, like maybe
yeah, maybe.
maybe he'll change his mind.
he just like digs super duper slow. I'm hitting rocks here.
Try to die of old age.
Hope the cops show up something.
Yeah, I'd probably like try to throw the shovel at him or something and then get shot and killed, but at least I wouldn't have to dig that grave.
Well, this guy had a knife, right? He didn't have a gun?
Said he stabbed him in the heart.
So, I mean, like, yeah, I'd take a chance with a guy with a knife. With a shovel, yeah.
But did he not, like, how did he get caught? Like, I assume you buried the guy.
Well, yeah, apparently they found out and like it didn't sound like he'd been charged yet, but he might get charged. But he was trying to tell the cops that like they went out in the woods, yes, but they got in a fight and the guy like fell on his knife and died. and then he buried him. So yeah, the story and the reality are.
I don't know, that reminds me of a TikTok story that I don't know if it's real, but I just have to say it. There was a story that said French police accidentally raped a black man. Accidentally raped him.
Accidentally raped.
I thought he was a woman.
I didn't read into it. It was a TikTok title, so it could have been fake. But I was just like,
Yeah, just a random video.
Man, you know what's crazy is so my mom for many years has been a tax preparer, and like
it sounded like you said my mother for many years.
not anymore, but no, she's been a tax preparer for like a long time, and like one year she got this guy, and like he was talking about how he had just gotten out of prison, and like she didn't like ask him like what he was in there for, but he mentioned several times it was because he was a convicted sex offender, and he just kept saying it. Well, it turns out that guy was a pedophile, like he was, molesting kids or whatever. So cut to, I don't know, maybe, well, I don't know how much longer it was after that, maybe a year or so. That guy was, I forget exactly where he was, but basically they found him dead in his car full of bullet holes. So like somebody fucking shot him.
Shot the shit out of him.
And they never found who did it. And honestly, I don't even know if they looked that hard.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, they're like, well, it is what it is.
I think that's kind of what happened. Yeah, I don't think they probably investigated too much on that one.
Yeah, the sex offender registry is kind of like a double-edged sword, right? You want to keep people safe and away from those guys, but at the same time, you're making kind of a hit list for some vigilantes to go after.
I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often.
Yeah, maybe it does, and we don't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, there might be occurrences. There was one in, I think we talked about it a little bit, but there was a guy in Alaska who like was going around like killing them with hammers.
Yeah,
and I don't think he got too many before they got him, but like, yeah, I was like, that getting beat to death with a hammer is not a great way to go.
Brutal. Or that first blow, it better be a good one.
If it's to the head, take a shot to the head, that's probably it. But
yeah.
If like you have to take a bunch of body shots first.
Yeah. So. He's going for your arms, your legs, your ribs. That's not good.
There's a Joaquin Phoenix movie where he plays a guy that's doing that, like killing pedophiles with a hammer, but it's not a good movie.
Right. Not enough character arc.
It's just somehow the director managed to.
How did he fuck this up?
The director found a way to make a movie about a guy who kills pedophiles with a hammer boring. And I'm
really?
like, I don't know how they did this. It's a feat. Man, I had a hard time finding good articles, but this one piqued my interest. 30 headless sacrifice goats found floating in Georgia River.
Jeez.
You might think decapitating goats as part of a religious ritual is something that only happens in horror movies. If that's true, then Georgia has been ripped from Earth and dropped into a Hollywood gore fest. Locals living by the Chattahoochee River, which runs through Georgia, made a gruesome discovery on August 27th. On top of the usual varieties of aquatic life, a new kind of animal appeared in the river, headless goats. And we're not talking about just one or two goats. People noticed a herd of around 30 decapitated goat corpses floating down the stream. Jason Uself from the environmental group Chattahoochee Riverkeeper told Channel 2 Action News that the goats were found near the I-20 bridge crossing the river. On Friday, we were out here and saw 30 of them floating down the river, Uself said. One local event even managed to catch the dumping of the goats on video. According to Uself, the video shows the splashes as the corpses plummet into the river. This isn't the first time people have discovered headless goats in the Chattahoochee either. Over the years, more than 200 decapitated goat carcasses have ended up in the water. Lately, it's become a lot more frequent, Uself noted. Over the past couple years, I've seen a couple hundred, but never more than 20 to 30 at one given time like we've started to see here lately. He added that the local who shot the video of the goats being dumped can often hear it happening even in broad daylight. He actually hears the body splashing down, not only in the middle of the night, but he told me that he hears them in the middle of the day. So what exactly is going on in Georgia? Has a satanic goat sacrificing cult taken root in the state? Well, not quite. That said, the main suspect is an unconventional religious group. Although there are no official police investigations ongoing, at least yet, most people are pointing their fingers at a local community practicing Santeria. It's a syncretic religion that arose in Cuba in the late 19th century, mixing elements from Roman Catholicism, Spiritism, and the West African Yoruba religion. Santeria is a ritualistically oriented religion, meaning that the proper execution of rituals is more important to its practitioners than faith in one rigid dogma. And one of the Santeria rituals is animal sacrifice. The Santeria faithful don't try to hide their sacrificial practices, and why would they? In their eyes, it's all part of their perfectly valid religion. Priest Akington Shingods and Jula told Channel 2 Action News that the sacrifice of a male goat is done to celebrate victory, whatever that may be. A female goat, on the other hand, can be sacrificed on behalf of someone wishing for children. This recent spate of goat sacrifice isn't the only time the Santerians have caused public hubbub with their sacrificial practices. In 2019, reports started surfacing of them leaving decapitated chickens, goat heads, and coconuts by railroad tracks in the Atlanta metro area. A retired train conductor said that he'd seen thousands of instances of animal parts laying by the tracks. That's despite the fact that under Georgia law, doing so is a crime. Nigerian priest Akintunde Sengosaken Ajale, I'm sure I pronounced that correct, living in Birmingham, Alabama, told Channel 2 Action News at the time about Santeria's sacrificial rituals. In sacrifice, we can use rooster, hen, pigeon, goat, snail, any kind of animal, Ajale said. Although the variety of Santeria he follows doesn't leave animal corpses on railroad tracks. He knew why it is done. According to Ajali, the ritual gets rid of evil spirits. The spirits are bound to the sacrificed animal, and the passing train blows them away. I mean, it goes on, but it just like...
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane that the local government there doesn't crack down on them killing that many animals.
Any animals, like if you're not going to eat them, it's pretty messed up.
And just throwing a bunch of dead bodies in like a water source is pretty shaky.
Yeah, that too. I mean, that can't be good for the environment. And who knows if they get water from that source, somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I guess everything goes through filtration,
everything feeds
but still.
to something, so I don't know.
So yeah, you would think they would crack down on it.
Yeah, that kind of ties into my story, actually.
Oh, go for it.
Yeah. Dozens of endangered penguins were killed by bees in a fluke incident in South Africa, a wildlife organization has confirmed. A swarm of insects repeatedly stung the sea creatures on a beach, the Southern African Foundation for Conservation of Coastal Birds said on Sunday. Tests found that 63 African penguins, a species which features on a prominent red list for endangered animals, had no injuries other than the stings, while a number of bees also died. The incident occurred outside Cape Town, South Africa, where the flightless birds were found dead on Friday. David Roberts, a clinical veterinarian for the foundation, said, "After tests, we found bee stings around the penguins' eyes. This is a very rare occurrence. We do not expect it to happen often. It's a fluke." There was also dead bees on the scene. The protected birds were from a colony at Simonstown, a small town near Cape Town. The area boasts a national park with the Cape honeybees part of the ecosystem there. The South African National Park said the birds were taken to the foundation for post-mortems and samples sent for disease and toxicology testing. In a statement, it said there were no external physical injuries found on the birds. The post-mortem showed all the penguins had multiple bee stings. African penguins, which inhabit the coast and islands of southern Africa, are on the International Union for Conservation and Nature's Red List, meaning they can face a high risk of extinction. Mr. Roberts added, "The penguins must not die, just like they have already. They are in danger. They are a protected species." But yeah, I mean, 63 penguins from bee stings. That's nuts. One Macaulay Culkin made a movie,
Some of those aggressive bees.
Yeah, those bees some assholes, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's one of those combinations of nature you wouldn't really think of, like bees killing penguins.
Yeah, you don't even think of them in the same environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, they do migrate to South Africa, so
But I mean, okay, so is it cold in South Africa at those times? It must be, right?
obviously not cold enough to
Stop bees.
because they do kind of go into like a hibernation state. Most insects slow way down when it gets cold, so must have been okay.
I never knew that. Yeah, I guess penguins can travel to warmer environments.
Well, are we ready for Manifesto round 2?
Just a short blurb. In Philadelphia, a Chipotle was gonna close a little early, and this woman takes out a gun and says, "Somebody better give me my food."
These things happen so often, it's weird.
Yeah. In America, that's very common. I don't know if it happens anywhere else.
It's like I can understand being upset, but it's Chipotle.
I know, if it was Taco Bell, I'd be like, all right, but a Chipotle?
I'm going to Chipotle after this.
He's
Bring
like,
your gun.
Chipotle, that sounds good.
And I'm not strapped.
You better take your gun in case you forget your mask.
Yeah.
Better give me my burrito.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right, extra beans.
Keep going.
They're just like, yeah.
I did say stop. I'm eating a burrito or I'm eating ass. You choose. Well, my topics aren't great this week, so do you guys want to do the last 20 movie trivia questions?
All right, let's
I'm
knock out a few more. Let's see if I can.
You got one last chance at redemption. You've been close a few times.
And then you'll have to pick. You'll have to pick a new topic that isn't so skewed.
Movies?
How is it skewed?
No, it's skewed to Indian
nerds?
Americans.
Movies.
All these Indian American questions.
I'm going to do Becker trivia.
Perfect.
Hey, colored blind guy.
Let's see. Okay. What is the only X-rated film to win Best Picture at the Oscars?
Caligula?
Oh, Showgirls.
That would be pretty amazing. But, Midnight Cowboy.
I had no clue. Yeah.
I've never.
I didn't know that was rated X. I think I have seen that.
I've never seen it, but I knew that was the answer. I've heard that.
But I guess the ratings were probably a little stricter back in the day.
Who played Detective Rick Deckard in Blade Runner?
Harrison
Arnold
Ford.
Schwarzenegger.
Harrison Ford. You're on the board. What is the name of the spaceship in Alien?
God damn it. This is another one I'd know if I heard it. I think I'd know. No.
I only saw Alien once, like a really long time ago. You got a guess?
No.
It is the USCSS Nostromo.
I was wrong. That's a Heart of Darkness reference, isn't it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Something like that.
This acclaimed Oscar-winning filmmaker directed Happy Feet, Babe, Pig in the City, and Mad Max Fury Road. This one I would have got.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
You don't have a guess?
I don't think so.
What about you?
I mean, just the Mad Max one kind of makes
I remember hearing the fact that he directed both, and it was kind of like a weird mix. But
Yeah, it's definitely a weird mix, isn't it?
Steven Spielberg.
George Miller. Who is the first and only woman of color to win the Oscar for Best Actress?
Whoopi?
You got a guess?
Halle Berry.
That is correct. Although, Didn't Whoopi win or get nominated or something for Ghost?
Maybe it was supporting.
Could have been supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably wasn't lead. Now this one, I don't know. I wouldn't know. What's the fictional brand of cigarettes in Quentin Tarantino's movies?
Camels.
The only one I remember that prominently had cigarette ads was the Hollywood one. I didn't know you used like the same brand in all of them.
I never knew it. If it's something you ever focused on, I totally didn't notice.
This is one I think I'd know if I heard it because DiCaprio did like a fake commercial at the end of that movie. It was something like Green Apple.
You're so close. Red apples.
Oh, fuck off.
Who played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz?
All I remember is she got smashed under a house.
There's no way I would have gotten this one.
I don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
Margaret Hamilton. Which movie star is killed off in the opening scene of Scream?
Drew Barrymore.
That is correct.
I don't even know if I ever saw Scream.
I didn't. I think once upon a time I knew that fact about it, but I don't know if I would have been able to pull it or not. What's the name of John Wayne's character in True Grit, played by Jeff Bridges in the remake?
Rooster
Cogburn.
Now, who am I supposed to give the point to?
I started. And I finished.
Should I don't know if I should just forget that one. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I only got Cogburn because he said Rooster, so I'll give him that.
All right. 2-2. What is the highest grossing war movie of all time and Clint Eastwood's highest grossing movie ever?
Saving Private Ryan.
You got a guess?
Oh, why am I coming up blank? 'Cause Saving Private Ryan was a big one.
But, well, he already got it wrong. That was a Spielberg movie. This is Clint Eastwood we're talking about.
Oh, it could have been directed.
This is directed by Clint Eastwood.
He directed American Sniper, I think. I don't remember what else he directed.
Is that your
That's the
answer?
best I got.
That's correct.
I didn't know it was that big.
And I didn't remember he directed that one. I knew he did the Sands of Iwo Jima and then Flags of Our Fathers. So he's done a couple.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember any of his movies.
how many Oscars has Meryl Streep won?
3.
That is correct.
That was a guess.
Good guess.
How many Oscars has Meryl Streep been nominated for?
More than 3.
5.
8.
21.
I was closer.
We're not doing prices right. Who played Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any- Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
What Martin Scorsese movie holds the all-time record for F-bombs?
The Departed.
You got a guess?
Was Goodfellas Martin Scorsese?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go with Goodfellas.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
What is the name of the extended ballet sequence near the end of Singin' in the Rain? I watched Singin' in the Rain and I couldn't tell you this.
Is it the Dancer Through the Raindrops sequence?
That's in the middle of the movie, so I don't think so.
I don't know. I never saw it.
I don't know.
Broadway Melody. What is the name of Riley's imaginary friend in Inside Out?
Never seen it. Don't know.
It's really good, actually.
Oh, I can kind of picture him. Is it like Mr. something? Nope.
Bing Bong.
Oh, Bing Bong. I should have known it was semi-racist.
Who played the Green Goblin in 2002 box office smash?
William Dafoe.
That is correct.
Oh, you're going to fart on me now.
Got to win the Brown prize.
For what movie did George Clooney win his sole acting Oscar to date?
God, he won one?
You're not a fan of the Clooney?
What could he have won one for?
I'll give you a hint. It's not Batman and Robin.
Just because it's kind of snobby, I think I'll go with the Coen Brothers. The what was it? Burn After Reading.
God, that movie sucked. You got a guess?
I think is it called Up in the Air?
Oh, yeah. I think it is called that. Not the correct answer, but a good guess. Syriana.
What's?
I never watched it.
I don't think I ever heard of it.
I think that one has Zoe. What's her? Zoe Saldana.
It could. I think it's something about oil in the Middle East or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's Colombiana. I'm thinking about Colombiana.
Oh, yeah. I saw that movie once. Totally forgettable, but I did watch it. God, this is a movie I watched too, and I wouldn't have gotten this. Near the end of Vertigo, when Judy transforms into Madeline, she is bathed in what color light?
Bad Light.
Is this a black and white film? Because I'll go with white. Wait, what was your guess?
Red.
Red is a good color. Yellow?
Well, you said green apple cigarettes. You should have went with green again. Who played Reagan McNeil in The Exorcist? Or maybe it's a Regan. I never watched that movie.
I have seen it. Is that the old guy, the actual exorcist?
Well, all it gives is a character's name, Reagan McNeil or Regan
He was
McNeil.
like the main. Yeah, probably was. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's actually the girl, Linda Blair. So right now it's 4-3, but this final question, you can actually get up to 3 points. So it's a little
Ooh, it's
interesting.
just a three-parter?
Well, the way I'm going to do it is, only 3 movies in history have won the Big Five at the Oscars. That's Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, and Best Actress. Name them.
Lord of the Rings.
So you get 3 guesses, each of you.
Gone with the Wind. Titanic.
Okay, and then yours?
No, Titanic is one. I would take a shot into Avatar and Jurassic Park.
It happened one night. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and The Silence of the Lambs. You're all wrong.
Damn. Lord of the Rings won so many. I was like, it was a shoe-in.
Yeah, it did. It was a Return of the King, right? Was the one that
I don't know.
But yeah, none of those. So AJ wins 4-3.
All right, here's to get
Here's to tradition. Titanic won a shitload too.
They did, yeah. For the most part, they weren't bad guesses. Like the movie, But yeah, I wouldn't have gotten any of those either. When it comes to the Oscars, you got to think what would have been pretentious.
The only one of those I think if I saw a list, One Flew Over Cuckoo's List might have sparked my interest, but
I saw that once. I don't remember really enjoying it.
Yeah. But anyway,
Silence of the Lambs is fine, but I don't know what the big deal about it is. I didn't think it was
yeah, I thought it was definitely a good movie. I mean, Anthony Hopkins is always great.
I guess that it isn't an iconic performance, but
Yeah.
So does that mean that Jodie Foster won for that movie as well?
She must have been best lead because I'm pretty sure he was supporting. He didn't even show up in the movie for that long a time period. He was a pretty small part, even though it was a huge, huge piece.
Yeah, it's been so long since I saw that, but what's the guy's name? Buffalo Bill?
Buffalo Bill? Buffalo Bob?
Buffalo Bob made me shove rope flares up my bum hole.
It's no, man.
All right, well, we're a little over an hour. We could call it, but if you guys got any, great stories, you totally fine with letting them in.
I'll hold on to a couple.
I can drop it. It's hot.
Basically, the whole point of the show is #Save Becker. Watch Becker, support Becker. We need them to get it on a real streaming service. We need them to do an HD upgrade
because the demand is so high that obviously
it should be. I mean, a hit show, 5 seasons, man. So disappointing.
Yeah.
So disappointing. All right. Well, that is going to do it for our show this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening along. Please, on the YouTube, give us, thumbs up and give us some comments. And then on the audio side of things, make sure to also, subscribe. Give us positive 5-star reviews, if you will. And why not follow us on social media? Guys, where can people find you on Twitter?
I am at a name for this too, and that's number 2.
At Unsolicited SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. Beckerheads Unite. That's going to do it for all of our...
No more racially biased questions.
Okay, this will do it for all of our poppycock and shenanigans this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good one.
Take care.